Hello there, thanks a lot for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and here's a Beatles concert poster I bet you've never seen, and it's just as rare as all the regular Beatles concert posters. Man, can you believe a group calling themselves the Tan and Brown Beatles in the summer of 1964 at the height of Beatlemania? Oh my gosh. So what you're seeing before you is it's obviously a great soul music poster with a lot of great acts on there, headlined, ironically, by the Isley brothers, who the Beatles took Twist and Shout from and made into their own. But I've video blogged literally every other act on this poster on their own, and this is a Beatles blog, so I'm just going to blow by all the, R&B musicians here, and let's take a close-up look at the subject of this video blog. There they are, the Tan and Brown Beatles. Wow, and then check out that descriptor below their name, the boys with the mop tops. Oh man, I can't believe it. And then there they are, the 8 guys, 5 in the back and 3 in front, in a very, vaudeville-like pose. And it looks like there's black top hats on the guys in back and white headgear, or maybe wigs, or maybe a mixture of both on the guys in front. Now, I'm sure you've noticed the poster got quite water-stained once upon a time, and then was laminated in plastic, so we've got a couple of visual impairments going on here. But, notice how Globe Poster Company even dutifully captioned the picture underneath the Tan and Brown Beatles. It's just absolutely crazy stuff. So, it does look like 8 African-American men, even though the name Tan and Brown possibly suggests Hispanic. So, if they were, why not just call themselves the Black Beatles? Well, we have to remember in 1964, African Americans were known widely and respectfully as Negroes, not blacks, so I'm sure that played into it. But ultimately, this is all speculation. I mean, just who knows, right? So, every first-generation Beatles fan, luckily such as myself, or music historian knows that when the Beatles hit the scene in America in early 1964, everyone was caught by surprise. Everybody in the music business was caught completely flat-footed. So, to put it succinctly, the Beatles simply weren't lawyered up yet in this country. And the music business itself was pretty, was in a slumber, the girl groups of the early 60s, and still in a relatively naive and innocent period. So, advantage of the Beatles' popularity was being taken everywhere, at least for a few short months before order could be restored. And, remember, A Hard Day's Night had just opened this summer in July, and here is this, August 1st. How close is that? In fact, speaking of which, let's take a closer look at that venue there. It does say, Show and Dance, Auditorium in Macon, Georgia, Saturday, August 1st. Starts promptly, 8 p.m. until blank, so whenever it ended. Advance admission $2, and at the door $2.50, and then it says tickets on sale at all general ticket stations. So, you can just imagine that the cease and desist letters were starting to fly right about this time. I mean, with Hard Day's Night stirring up all that interest and people taking advantage, even if they were just going out from the Beatles label, Capitol Records, initially. And as a matter of fact, I actually have some nice evidence that strongly suggests just that statement. So, notice this again is Saturday, August 1st in Macon, Georgia. So let's jump ahead exactly 5 weeks this summer, okay? Not only to the same city, but the same building, the Macon Auditorium, and go to another concert that was headlined by another big soul music star in Macon. Sam Cooke, wow, with a gorgeous concert poster, which I will blog all on its own someday. At the top, Macon Auditorium, Saturday, September 5th, still the summertime. So let's go ahead and zoom right in on the men of the hour. Well, look at this. The Tan and Brown Beatles are now just the Brown Beatles. And in a definite nod to the lawyers, they're now spelled with 2 E's. And that's kind of funny because that's exactly how John, Paul, George, and Pete were sometimes billed around Liverpool just 2 years before this. Not as Brown, of course, rather as the 2 E's. Hey, wait a minute. What happened to the 8 guys and their vaudeville shtick? Now they're 5 guys with guitars, bass, and drums, and matching stage suits just like you-know-who. Well, they were probably digging all the attention and all the bookings and maybe taking this rock band thing pretty seriously. You know, as a serious researcher and music historian, I mean, I'm the first to admit this is all just pure speculation. I couldn't find anything on these guys. Any serious research looking for them just turned up the regular Beatles, I know, for hundreds of pages. They very well, though, could have been from Macon, Georgia, given their presence on both those posters from that city. But that very fact, and why they went from 9 members to 5 so quickly, and why they picked Tan and Brown in the first place, and why they shortened it to Brown, etc., you know, those answers are all just, I guess you could say, blowing in the wind and lost to time until one of them steps forward at some forum and, you know, hey, it'd be great if they did it here, contacted me or left a comment down below, and obviously I'd be sure to pass it along to you down below as well. That would just be so awesome. So, a lot of fun, but you know, it's not unprecedented either. I mean, yeah, take a look at this Billboard magazine ad from the same year, from 1964. Feast your eyes on this as I move in for a close-up here. Can you believe this one as well? How about the female Beatles? Oh my gosh. And it says there in the fine print of the ad, they were both appearing in New York City and with a booking agency in New York City. So, boy, I'll bet the hammer went down on them pretty quickly, that's for sure. So, but you know, whether it's the female Beatles or the Tan and Brown Beatles or the Brown Beatles, and hey, how come they didn't use the beige Beatles? That would have been kind of nice. But you know, whatever name it was, one thing's never been more clear, and that is there ain't nothing like the real thing. A lot of fun, more fun than most video blogs I do. Just a real kick on this one. So thanks a lot for stopping by, and we'll see you again for something more serious next time around. Okay, have a good day. Bye-bye.